Hello, grade 6. Are you ready to learn new skill, new lesson in Math 6? Buckle up yourself and let's learn math with teacher Giovanni. But before we start, I want you to prepare your paper, your pen, and of course yourself because we're going to do a lot of exercises in this video. All right, let's start our discussion with an activity. I want you to answer the following questions based on the picture given. You can pause this video for a while and just play this back if you are already ready with your answers. Okay, I guess you are all ready with your answers. Let's have the answers of these questions. Letter A, how many boys are there in the picture? You just count the number of boys and there are two of them. Letter B, how many girls are there in the picture? Just count the number of girls and there are three of them. And letter C, what is the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls? So I guess letter C is the most challenging question among these questions because it's asking about the ratio, and letter C also needs your knowledge about ratio. And the answer here is 2 to 3. If you have answered all these questions correctly, then congratulations. I just mentioned about the word ratio. And I'm pretty sure that you already have encountered this word when you were in your previous years, right? Okay. So what do you mean by ratio? Ratio is a comparison between two quantities. What is a comparison? It's from the word compare. So in ratio, we are comparing two quantities. In letter C, what are the quantities we are comparing? It's the number of boys and the number of girls. So that is going to be our topic in this video. It's all about ratio. But in this video, we will be focusing on the relationship between ratio and fraction. Are you ready now? Let's move on and let's start our main topic with a warm-up activity. I have here a whole, and this whole is divided into 4 equal parts. 3 parts are being shaded and 1 part is not shaded. Here are the questions. Letter A, what fraction of the whole is shaded? Letter B, what fraction of the shaded part is the unshaded part? It's somehow complicated, right? Letter C, what is the ratio of the area of the shaded part to the area of the whole? And letter D, what is the ratio of the unshaded part to the area of the shaded part? You can pause this video while answering these questions and just play the video again if you are already ready of your answers. All right, let's see how you are doing well in this activity. Get ready of your answers as I'm about to reveal the answers of the following questions. Letter A, what fraction of the whole is shaded? So we're looking for the fraction. There should be a numerator and a denominator. 3 parts are shaded out of how many equal parts? 4. Therefore, the fraction is going to be 3/4. 3 parts are shaded out of 4 equal parts. Did you get it right? Congratulations. Letter B, what fraction of the shaded part is the unshaded part. In letter B, we are looking for the fraction again. So your answer should also be a fraction. Grade 6. The given figure can be written in the following manner. We have the shaded parts and the unshaded part. The question in letter B is, what fraction of the shaded part is the unshaded part? In other words, the unshaded part is what part or what fraction of the shaded part. The unshaded part is just 1/3 of the shaded part. Did you get it? I hope you get it right. And let's move on to letter C. What is the ratio of the area of the shaded part to the area of the whole? So for letter C, we're looking for the ratio. The first quantity mentioned is area of the shaded. So it should be the shaded to the whole. How many parts are shaded? 3 parts are shaded. How many parts are there in a whole? 4. So the ratio is 3 to 4. And letter D, what is the ratio of the unshaded part to the area of the shaded part? In letter D, we're looking for the ratio. The first quantity mentioned is unshaded. Unshaded, and the second quantity mentioned is shaded. How many parts are not shaded? There's only 1. How many parts are shaded? There are 3. So the ratio is 1 to 3. Did you get a perfect score in this activity? If yes, just tell me later on or during our Zoom meetings. And before we proceed to our main course in this video, notice the answers of A and C. A is 3/4, C is 3 to 4. I want you to see the relationship between ratio and fraction. So if the ratio of the area of the shaded part to the area of the whole is 3 to 4, it means that the area of the shaded part is 3/4 of the whole. Letter B and letter D, the ratio of the unshaded part to the shaded part is 1 to 3. So we say that the unshaded part is 1/3 of the shaded part. So that's the relationship that I want you to see between ratio and fraction. Let's have example number 1. Perlin has 2 Taekwondo medals. Mervin has 5 Taekwondo medals. These are the medals received by these 2 people in the problem, Perlin and Mervin. And since we cannot always draw whatever object is mentioned in the problem, then we can represent these medals using bar models. So instead of drawing 2 medals, we can draw 2 bar models. And for 5 medals, we can draw 5 bar models. Here are the questions. Letter A, the ratio of the number of medals Perlin has to the number of medals Mervin has is? In this question, we're looking for the ratio. The ratio. So we have to be careful about the order of the quantities. The first quantity mentioned is the number of medals Perlin has. And Perlin has 2, right? 2. And the second quantity mentioned is the number of medals Mervin has, and Mervin has 5. So the ratio is 2 to 5. Letter B. The number of medals Perlin has is blank of the number of medals Mervin has. Look at the blank. The blank is followed by the word of. Blank of the number of medals Mervin has. In other words, we're looking for the fraction of medals Perlin has with respect to the number of medals Mervin has. Perlin has two parts. Look at this. Perlin has two parts, and two parts is just 2/5 of Mervin. The number of medals Perlin has is 2/5 of the number of medals Mervin has. Let's have question number 2. Xavier, Yuna, and Zach share a sum of money in the ratio 1 to 3 to 5. Based on this ratio, we can say that Xavier gets 1 part, Yuna gets 3 parts, and Zach gets 5 parts. And this is shown in the model. How many parts do we have all together? We have a total of 1 plus 3 plus 5. A total of 9 parts. Are you ready now to answer the following questions? Of course, you are always ready for that. Let's have letter A. The amount of money Xavier received is blank of the amount of money Yuna received. So for letter A, the word ratio is not mentioned, so our answer is not a ratio. Take note of the word that follows after blank, blank of. It means our answer here is a fraction. Xavier's money is what fraction of Yuna's money? Look at the model. Xavier is 1 part, and that is just 1/3 of Yuna's money. Letter B. The amount of money Zach received is blank of the amount of money Yuna received. Again, the word that follows after the blank is of. It means our answer here should be a fraction. Zach's money is what fraction of Yuna's money? So this is what we are going to do. This is already considered as 1/2 of Yuna. So we are going to write here 1/2. And there are 2 more parts that need to be covered. And 2 parts is just 2/3 of Yuna. Right? So we write here 2/3. In other words, Zach's money is 1 2/3 of Yuna's money. What is 1 2/3? That is the same as 5/3. Do you know the shortcut on how to do this? 5 here is the number of units Zach has, and 3 here is the number of units Yuna has. Let's have letter C. The ratio of money Xavier received to the total amount of money is, so for letter C, we're looking for the ratio. Xavier has 1 unit and the total amount of money has 9 units. So the ratio is 1 to 9. And letter D, the amount of money Zach received is blank of. So it should be a fraction. Blank of the total amount of money. So I'm just going to illustrate letter D by putting all the bars side by side. We have Xavier, Yuna, and Zach. We have a total of 9 equal parts. Zach's money has 5 parts, right? 5 parts out of 9 parts. So the fraction is 5/9. Next, let's have number 3. There are 4 adults and 12 children watching a play. There are 4 adults and 12 children. And this is the model. Question letter A, find the ratio in simplest form. Take note of this, grade 6. Ratio in simplest form of the number of adults to the number of children watching the play. The first quantity mentioned is the number of adults, and there are 4 parts. The second quantity mentioned is the number of children, and there are 12 parts. So our answer is 4 to 12. But 4 to 12 is not yet in simplest form. How did I know? 4 and 12 are both divisible by what number? By 2? Yes, you're right. But there is a better answer for that. 4 and 12 are both divisible by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the simplest form for 4 to 12 is 1 to 3. And 4 to 12 and 1 to 3 are what we call equivalent ratios. These are equivalent ratios. Okay, let's move on. Letter B, find the ratio in simplest form again of the number of children to the number of adults watching the play. So we just simply interchange the quantities in letter A. This time, the first quantity is the number of adults. The number of children. And the second quantity mentioned is the number of adults. So our answer is 12 to 4, or that is 3 to 1. And letter C, the number of children is blank times the number of adults. In other words, the number of children is how many times the number of adults. Look at the model. The number of children is 3 times the number of adults. The other way of doing that is, look at the answers in A and in B. The 3 here, how are you going to obtain 3? What number do you multiply to 1 to get 3? So we have to multiply 1 by 3 to get 3. What about 4 to 12? Our goal is to obtain 12. What number should you multiply to 4 in order to get 12? It's still 3, right? That's why the number of children is 3 times the number of adults. And let's have our last example in this video. Number 4, Faye N saves 3/4 as much money as Michelle. One way to understand a problem is by rephrasing the given problem. Rephrase. You ask questions. Faye N saves what fraction of Michelle's money? And the answer is 3/4. So the model for Michelle should be divided into 4 equal parts because we want to get 3/4 of that. Okay? So that's for Michelle, and Faye N is just 3/4 of whatever Michelle has. Did you get that? And take note that 1 bar or 1 box is 1 unit. So in terms of units, Faye N has 3 units, Michelle has 4 units. Question letter A, the ratio of Michelle's savings to Faye N savings is, Michelle has 4, Faye N has 3, so the ratio is 4 to 3. Letter B, the ratio of Michelle's savings to their total savings is, Michelle has 4, the total has 7 units. So the ratio is 4 to 7. And letter C, Michelle's savings is blank of their total savings. So our answer for letter C should be a fraction because the blank is followed by the word of. Michelle has 4 units, so that should go on top. And the total has 7 units, that should go at the bottom. So the fraction is 4 over 7. All right, that's it, grade 6. And I hope that you learned something from this video. We just discussed about the relationship between ratio and fraction. You always keep in mind and you always take note when to answer a ratio and when to answer a fraction. So see you in my future videos. Bye-bye.